Hey guys, this is Austin, and today we're gonna be looking at... Just kidding, it's me. Should have seen the look on your face. just glasses. Here's the other way. Okay, yes, objectively that was terrible. Someone told me I reminded them of him, and I know, like, facial hair and, like, fat. But I also feel like I sound better, so maybe I'll try to incorporate his speaking style. I don't know. Also, these are prescriptions, so let's go. And we start off with a familiar story. Earlier this week, we talked about Google's new exploration into light field technology. Well, now there is a very credible rumor that Google is looking to acquire Lytro for $40 million. If you're not familiar, Lytro was founded back in 2006 with a goal to revolutionize the camera industry. Since then, they had released 2 photo cameras. Their claim to fame? Having the ability to shoot now and focus later with this light field technology. Neither of these cameras took off, however, and actually Austin has a review of one of them. Last we checked, they were working on a 755 megapixel light field cinema camera with the same technology. The company was evaluated for $365 million back in 2017, but now it seems that Google is going to acquire all of its failing assets for $40 million. Hopefully it can make something cool out of the ruins. And speaking of revolutionary imaging technology, NVIDIA has made its AI fast photo style software open source. We saw an earlier demonstration of this not too long ago. Essentially, the software can analyze a photo and gather all sorts of information regarding its general style, color, contrast, etc. It can then edit another picture to match the first. The results are pretty incredible, but also, how long until everything we see is just a lie? And if you're getting sick of hearing about these old cameras worth millions of dollars, don't worry. This week, instead, we'll talk about all photos worth millions of dollars. An eBay listing had this photo for sale. It was bought by Justin Whitening for $10. Speculating that this was worth a lot more, it was then analyzed by several forensic experts and concluded that this photo was of Jesse James when he was just a teenager. They also estimated that this photo could be worth over $2 million. That's pretty out of this world. Like this hobby drone that more or less made it out of this world. If you consider 33,000 feet in the air out of this world. A drone hobbyist in Russia made a 2.34 pound quadcopter with a flight time of 25 minutes. Since there are no maximum height flight restrictions in Russia, he was able to capture this footage. Not quite completely unexplored territory. Commercial flight's cruising altitude is between 30 and 40,000 feet. So quite the accomplishment for this small drone, but also don't try this at home, please. Something else you probably won't be trying at home is the world's largest SSD. It's not physically the largest, obviously, but like Samsung's 30TB SSD, it's out in a 3.5-inch hard drive form factor. Unlike Samsung's, however, Nimbus Exadrive can hold a whopping 100 terabytes. It's also more power efficient. Nimbus says it'll be about 42% cheaper to run compared to its competitors. Compared to mechanical drives, the biggest capacity available is 14 terabytes, so this is pretty big news. With this Exadrive, you could store about 2 million raw photos. But again, you probably won't see this in anyone's home anytime soon. While no pricing has been announced, they said that it will fall in line with current cost per terabyte for this type of drive. That's close to $1,000 per terabyte. And now it's time for short stories. The BBC has been accused of photoshopping Jeremy Corbyn's hat to look more Russian in order to push their own agenda. There's been other controversies before where photojournalists post candid pictures. However, this seems much worse. What are your thoughts on it? Bruno has designed a mirror array thing with the goal of letting you split a single light into many adjustable sources. Results are interesting. I personally wouldn't buy this. Alex Wilde is suing a pest control company for $2.7 million for using 18 of his images without permission and ignoring him when he made the company aware of this infringement. Wondering if your low Instagram engagement is due to a shadow ban? Well, this website might be able to tell you. It even tells you if you're just banned from a few hashtags. KinoFlow has announced the Stacker 2, a lighting stand designed to support several KinoFlow lighting panels. Taradec has announced the Bolt 10K receiver. It works with existing Bolt 3000 transmitters and can extend its lossless zero latency video feed up to 10,000 feet. Kessler has a new 3D product photo and video robot. Each robot is built and tailored to customer need, but basically it's a Y-axis control slider with a turntable. The Nebula 51000 A7 slant is a new product It's actually just the old Nebula 5100 slant with a cage for Sony A7 cameras. It's supposed to make balancing easier. Allegedly, Fuji will release a firmware update in May for the XH1 that will fix autofocus problems the camera had in DR400. What problem is referring to? I have no idea. Also Fuji, Godox has released the B350F, adding Fuji to their supported camera system. And one last Fuji rumor. The upcoming XF200mm f2 lens will likely be wide and come bundled with a 1.4 teleconverter. Now turning to Nikon, they recently applied for a patent that seems to suggest that they're working on a similar technology to Canon's dual pixel AF. Good luck, Nikon. Until they do, they're trying to entice videographers with this. A D850 filmmaker kit. Included are 3 lenses, 2 microphones, a battery pack, and an Atomos Ninja Flame. But if you'd rather use your phone, Canon showed off a prototype of a lightning connector attachment that adds a 100 to 400mm camera to your phone. iPhone. Also, a smart AI camera similar to Google Clips but motorized for 360 movement. And if small cameras are your cup of tea, GoPro is licensing its camera technology to Jabil, who's involved with body cams and even self-driving cars. Wait, GoPro still has any technology worthwhile? Optica, on the other hand, has a new $200 12mm f2.8 manual lens for most mirrorless APS-C camera systems. But if APS-C is too big for you, DJI has leaks and rumors suggesting that the next DJI Phantom 5 will come with an interchangeable lens system and a 1-inch sensor. I personally think that's pretty unlikely, but hopefully, or not, because, wallet. Own a wireless microphone? Might want to check the frequency it works in. A new FCC rule will require you to stop using these if they're working in the 600 MHz range. All manufacturers have already changed back to the 500 MHz, so Finally, Instagram is taking some steps to address the demand for a chronological timeline, changing the algorithm to prioritize new posts. Also, a new post button will be added, instead of the auto refresh function it has now. And that's the last story of the day. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like this video if you liked it. Leave your comments down below with anything you have to say about any of the stories or my impersonation and the way I did my hair today. It's different. Don't forget to subscribe to keep up with all the news. And I know I teased the last time, but I have completed the project with the CFast card and the SATA cable. It's pretty cool and I have to work on the actual video now. And until then, I'll continue to tease it. Wait, have Austin in his videos? Isn't it just... Don't forget to subscribe and I'll catch you in the next one.